I had so much bruising in the ribs and whatnot that I hadn't really wanted to. Well, I wanted to ride, I just couldn't physically feel like getting out and riding. I've watched that dang video so many times. Not the one that's posted on YouTube. I actually made myself one just for my own sake, where I'd slowed it down. And I watched it regular speed, half speed, quarter speed, and 1/8 speed, and just I kept watching that video over and over again, just looking for clues somehow, some way, you know, what went wrong. You know, I'd been up and down that road, and I watched my video where I had rode the Honda Helix on that same road. It's in my back videos, Honda Helix, on my back road tours, the Rabbit Creek Road back road tours. And I was not going really all that much faster on that corner than what I did on the Honda Helix. I keep looking for the reason why. You know, what was the root cause of that? Why did that back end lock up? Because I had good front brakes, and I can't wreck again like that without, I mean, I don't want to wreck again, period. I don't want to ride not understanding why. You know, if there's a reason, if it's something that I done, you know, at first I thought, well, I was going too fast, and I was going too fast. I should have shut her down before I got to that point. That would have stopped the whole thing. I'm not saying it wouldn't, but something else was in that. There was another reason behind that to cause that accident to happen. Between the not having ABS, which would have slowed me down without locking that tire up, and not having the Shinko 705s are actually pretty decent tires off-road, but I can't say they're all that great on the road. I still think that ultimately it was three things. One was speed. I should have slowed down more before getting into that corner. So I'll say the speed is definitely that. Number two is the brakes, because this thing will lock up a rear brake. Oh my gosh, so easy, especially if you got the clutch in, and I think my clutch was in at the time that I had hit that point, because it seems to me like I had the clutch in, and so that was very, very, very bad. And three was the V-Strom is definitely a good bike. And it's not any different handling, really, I guess, than an Africa Twin or any bike of this class, this size, 500 pound and up, adventure bike class, BMWs, whatever. But it is a pretty good mass to move around. They are absolutely not flickable at all. I mean, they're handled reasonably well, but the directional change doesn't really happen for a couple of, you know, for a second or two after you lean. I mean, even counter steering, it takes them a little bit to get in with the corner. And you know, I had more or less a sport bike mentality, I guess, hitting those corners. I hit it too late. I was a little too late to brake. I was a little too late to lean and off the brake and on the throttle. You know, that was the whole idea. Come in, you know, slow down, come in the corner and roll on the throttle coming out. And I just got my timing wrong. Because the fact of the matter is, I'm not skilled enough to ride without them, I guess. I think I just proved that to myself. And I'm a humble person. You know, I'm telling you, I'm not a sport, when I say sport bike rider, I'm talking like high speed corners, you know, really just ripping it down through the curves. You know, I love curves, but I like to take them kind of slow. And the crash for the day is why I like to take them slow. It's just, I'm not an adrenaline junkie. I'm just not. I like laid back, relaxing rides. And the sad thing is, I cannot afford a bike. I just can't. Right now, with our finances what they are, It's just not feasible. I can't go out and buy a $14,000 Africa Twin, or I can't even buy like a really late model V-Strom with ABS. Anyway, I am on my way to a dealership, and I am gonna research some different options. I'm actually on the way back now. I went over to the dealer. You know, it is what it is. You know, I ain't making no excuses for it. It's been down twice, and it has been off-roaded quite a bit since I've had it. And so we ended up working out a deal, and I go back Wednesday. We're going to swap bikes, and my previous ideas of off-roading a big old adventure bike are just not going to happen. And after riding through LBL, and I kind of got that out of my system and got those videos recorded, it was like, I just really don't want to do that. It was nice to be able to go on those trails and to see those trails. You know, I've got to think about my own safety as well. I mean, anybody out on a bike is taking a big risk, and I'm certainly not exempt from that. And I decided that I above all else, I wanted ABS. I know I could just put along and go slow everywhere, provided nobody's behind me, like I am now. I mean, I'm running along here about 45 miles an hour, and that helps a lot. But it's still, I want ABS. So that's what I'm getting. And like I said, most of my moto vlogs will come off the Helix. Even though the Helix is not ABS, the Helix stops on a dime and will give you a nickel back. I don't know why. But that freaking Helix stops fast. I mean, fast. So, whatever. And I didn't have to trade. I didn't have to finance a bike. But I did. And I just feel better knowing that I'm going to have something with ABS. And it got so late in the day when I finally got over there that the mechanics had done gone home for the day, and they was ready to close up by the time I finally said, yeah, let's do this. And so I got to wait a few days because they're closed Sundays, closed Monday, and I work on Tuesday, work a half a day Wednesday. So Wednesday I got to go, weather permitting, if it ain't raining, I'm gonna go pick up my new little Ninja. But I've watched TLR for a while, and he seems to think highly of them, the little Ninja 300s. And I've always wanted one, and I've never much been into a sport bike like the super sports and stuff like that, but I never really liked the leg position on them. But And the V-Strom, my knees, I don't know if I can show this going down the road, my knees are bent under. My feet are like under my butt. They're curled back and under my butt. My heel is in line with my buttocks. And they're not like back behind my buttocks. And that is really comfortable. And so I in the Ninja set, the little 300 anyway, set's pretty much the same way. It's not much, really. The riding triangle, you're a little bit further forward on it than you are on this, but it's not a dramatic difference. And super, oh my gosh, like a toy lightweight, which I like. But they gotta put the battery and oil and all that mess in it, and check the air in the tires and this and that and whatnot. So I've got to wait, which is fine. I could stand a few more days healing. I know it's just 3 or 4 more days, but I have a hunch if people ride with me much anymore, I'm not going to be much fun to ride with. That wreck knocked the speed out of me. I know that's sad to say, and I've wrecked before, but it's just, I don't know. At 40, it just feels a lot different. When I wrecked at 20, well, I was actually about 16 last time I wrecked. I didn't have any wrecks from 16 to 22, thankfully. But I wrecked one pretty good at 16. And, yeah, I mean, I was down for a few days, but nothing horrible. Wasn't near as sore as what I am now, even a week later. This is 40's not old. 40 is not old. I still got a lot of fight left in me, but I can notice a difference. I can feel a difference in how fast I can come back from something. I don't heal like I used to. Anyway, I know this has been long. I know this has been a long vlog listening to me talk, but I just wanted to kind of update everybody with where I'm at, and that I am back out. I'm going slow. I mean, I can rip the throttle and do 70 in a blink, and then a deer run out in front of me and I'm really screwed. So, but yeah, I'm back out again, but I just can't help but to feel a little different. I still enjoy the ride. I just want to enjoy it at an easy pace.
Walk with me, let me take you to a journey worthy of the best gift of life. Yeah, you heard me. It don't concern me, lose it all in the process. Nothing to lose, been broke down and jobless. Can you feel me? Raise up if you hear me. Honestly, sincerely, do I gotta speak more clearly? Passion, satisfaction, Lord of all, God, who I'm asking for the wisdom. Holy Spirit, give the peace, time to take action. Imagine that, I picture me in the devil's world.